Hey guys, thanks for going on this nerd journey with me. If you want your episodes ad-free, go to makemeanerd.com/join and hit that button.
Hooked on you, baby, you're golden. Time moves, I never noticed. Just can't get enough. Got me wonderstruck.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Make Me a Nerd. I'm Mandy Kaplan, a mainstream mom whose mission it is to explore the world of nerd culture that I've been missing out on and afraid of my whole life. If you're new to the podcast, where have you been? I've missed you. But if you're new, this is what happens. I bring on somebody who's got some expert energy and love for something, and I grill them with my noob energy. See, I learned the word noob. Gaming. I'm trying. And we figure out if this entity is worth your time and energy as well. So that's what we're here to do. And I poached my guest from one of my beloved friends and co-podcasters. You all know the fabulous Chrissy Lenz. Well, she hosts Gank That Drink, a supernatural rewatch podcast, which they make into a drinking game, which we're going to do today. And I stole her co-host. Don't tell Chrissy if she's, just make her look the other way if she's listening.
She's aware.
Y'all, this
She's
is
aware I'm stepping
Nate
out.
McWhortor. He is a Phoenix improviser at the Neighborhood Comedy Theater. And as I said, co-host of Gank That Drink, a supernatural rewatch podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, Nate McWhortor.
Hello.
Drink.
Hello, drink. Okay.
Do we drink? Oh, we're doing it already. Here we go.
We always drink at the top of our shows.
Full
so
disclosure, it's almost 5 o'clock. This is, I don't want, a lot of my guests and friends and listeners know I record in the mornings and the early afternoons. It's not 9 in the morning, everybody. It is nearly 5 o'clock. So drinking is fully acceptable. So before we start drinking, I mean, talking about History of Future Folk, I want to know what kind of nerd you are, Nate. I sense your nerd river runs pretty deep.
My nerd river runs very wide, I would say.
Hot. Okay.
Only because I am a nerd in a lot of ways, but I'm also like, I'm a jock, Mandy. Like I grew up a jock.
Okay.
I am a total jock. I coached high school sports, both like through college and after college. I used to work in baseball, in minor league and major league baseball.
I love it.
So I am a sports nerd, which I believe is called a jock.
Yes.
And
I wouldn't know.
However, I was the sports jock that was like the nerd on the team, right? Like I was Squints. I was the guy that knew all the lore about everything. I might not have been the best player, but I held my own, but like I had the heart, and I was a glue guy, if you will. And
an improver, or did that come later in life?
I also did theater all through. Like my whole family does theater. My brother is a musical theater actor. He lives in Manhattan.
Nate, we got to talk offline. That's my whole background. That's my life.
I know. I knew you'd enjoy that little fact.
Yes.
So he does like choreography. He's a dancer. He's amazing. He and his wife, they both do it together.
Wow.
It's really cool. He went to AMDA. Super proud of him. But my parents, they met in theater class. Like my family, my dad was a sports nerd. He and his family, it was all like Midwestern sports nerds. So that's who I got it from. But he was not an athlete really himself. So
I love the blending of nerdery. And
I grew up, so just to reveal my age a little bit, I was like the perfect age for Star Wars when the remastered editions were out in theaters. And my parents, who grew up with Star Wars, they were like, we're taking our kids to this. Like,
you're basically telling me I'm your parents' age. I just want to lay that out there. That's basically what just happened. It just got dark. Make me a nerd just got very dark.
I guess I could have framed it better by saying I grew up watching the original versions on VHS, like over like wore out the VHSs of my parents of
Yeah.
Star Wars, wore out their music collection. Like my parents influenced a lot of my pop culture upbringing. My mom's a teacher; they're both teachers actually. I have to give like all nerd credit to them,
Yeah.
um, for even though I fought it so hard so many times, and
We keep
uh,
pulling you back in.
yeah, I kept getting pulled back in, and then I joined improv my freshman year in college, and the nerd ship was like fully we're fully aboard pretty much at that point. And I've been
One
doing
of us.
this 16 years now. Been doing
Great.
improv, so
And are you a musician? Because the history of Future Folk is, it's not a musical proper, but it is a very
it,
musical film.
I would consider it a musical. There are points when music is
We
being
can debate
played
that.
and the instrument is dropped, but the music continues on. I
Yes.
think that
I
qualifies
made
as a
that note.
musical.
Yeah.
um, uh, I do not play music myself. I'm actually like I don't think I'm very musically inclined. I've had to learn a lot, and I've learned a lot because of improv, and I've learned a
Mhm.
lot through improv about music, and I've had to like literally try hard to be. I have no rhythm at all, and so I
Okay.
have to really try. And I really had to practice for a lot of years to even have some basic rhythm. Uh,
Should we
and
spin this into a GoFundMe for you to
I
try to
think
get
so.
you
I
some
need it.
rhythm?
I
Yeah,
need some
I
rhythm.
feel it.
I just need to practice more and get more comfortable. I think that's always been my thing. But my wife, she plays tons of instruments. She's very music. She has a music
Ooh.
theory degree. Um, she can play guitar, and I like got her a mandolin. She's trying to play that, and like she'll play keyboard. She plays all sorts of things. So she is very much a musician, which is one of the reasons I first fell in love with her because I
Yes.
love music so much and I love being at live music.
Mhm.
And so like all in college, someone gave me a very cheap off ticket to the Telluride Bluegrass Festival, and that kind of changed my whole life
Apparently.
in a way. I had already loved the genre and loved bluegrass and country. My mom was very much a country person, grew up with it. My dad hated country because he worked at a country radio station in Safford.
Okay.
So, which is a small little town in Arizona. And anyway, so like I said, their music influence really influenced how I went on my musical journey, and I love going to live shows all the time. That's one of the things I do here in the Valley quite a bit, and we travel and go to shows. So
Well,
yeah,
that actually brings us to the history of Future Folk, which
yes,
you emailed me about, and I said I know nothing about it. I watched the trailer and I said, "Sure, let's do it." Because I think a lot of the listeners aren't going to recognize this title. I'm going to read the log line.
please do.
Okay. It's a 2012 movie. An alien general joins forces with the comrade sent to kill him. Their goals are threefold: save their home world, prevent mankind's destruction, and book some gigs as bluegrass musicians. That's the log line. It's pretty perfect.
It's pretty
In
spot
terms
on.
of getting me intrigued,
Yes, yes.
how did you come to this movie?
I honestly have been trying to think of that since we decided we were going to do it.
Yeah.
I remember when it came to Netflix. Um, I think it is when that's when I kind of was like, I discovered it just because it was a bluegrass thing and I was really into the genre already by that point. And like, I think somewhere on social media, it was like, oh, here's, uh, you're going to like this. The algorithm sent it to me essentially back in 2012 or whatever it
Sure.
was. Um, so much so that Dee Snider being in this movie literally makes me feel like someone made this movie just for me.
Well, we need to pause because you mentioned Dee Snider, and we
Oh,
are going to do Make Me a Nerd, the drinking game, as
oh,
you
I broke
do
the
on
glass.
at Gank That Drank. This is how you do it. So, can you tell the people what the rules are for the drinking game so they can enjoy our getting imbibed as we go?
Why, of course, Mandy, because I hit our first rule,
You
which is
did.
we're drinking for D. Anytime we talk about or mention or we talk about a scene with Dee Snider in it, we're taking a drink. This is what we do on Gank That Drink is we just watch Supernatural and we then drink during recordings, during watchings, whatever.
Not problematic at all. Carry on.
Not problematic. We stay home. We always record at night. We're always in for the night, most of the time. We're also going to drink anytime we say Hondo, which we have not yet said. So Hondo to you.
Yes, Hondo.
Hondo, of course, is the planet where General Trius and the mighty Kevin are from. Anytime we talk about anything that was like a budget cut, that's lasers, costumes, special effects.
Anything. I have other stuff, yeah.
Locations, lighting. I don't know.
This movie was made for $1.73.
It made almost as much. Oh no, it made all right. And then every new song we talk about, I feel like the movie progresses through a series of songs, and they're all very sweet and cute, and I like them a lot.
Okay, and what are you drinking?
Oh, I am drinking a Dos Equis because I'm trying to be the most interesting man in the world. No free ads.
And I'm drinking a very cheap Chardonnay. Okay, so you said Dee Snider. He plays like the owner of the club.
Yes.
And all of a sudden the movie opens and there's Dee Snider going, all right, our next act, blah. And I was like, is that Dee Snider?
Yes.
For
Mandy,
those who don't remember, he's Come on, Feel the Noise.
What is your background history knowledge of Dee Snider?
Come on, Feel the Noise. Girls Rock Your Boys. Isn't that him?
That's actually Quiet Riot.
Okay. What was he? I know him. I wrote down.
He's the lead man of Twisted Sister, which we're not gonna take it.
We're not gonna take it. Yeah,
rock.
with the dad. With the dad.
Yeah, with the dad and I Wanna Rock, both those kind of music videos of the same characters in them. Growing in middle school, I went through a very big rock, classic rock phase, which led me to hair metal. But here, the local rock station, one of them, had Dee Snider's House of Hair syndicated every Saturday morning. And I would sit on the radio I feel old because I'm an old
What's
soul.
House of Hair?
House of Hair was Dee Snider's. It was a syndicated radio show that he had that they would air all over the country, and they would just play 2 hours of 80s hair metal. But he'd come on and be like, "All right," doing his Dee Snider thing.
Yeah.
So I would listen to that pretty religiously. Most every Saturday morning, that's what I woke up to was Dee Snider, and the radio station also did Alice Cooper at night during the week.
Okay.
Which of course he's a local Arizona guy, so I always thought it was a local show. Did not realize it was a nationally syndicated show like Delilah, or Adam Carolla or any of those.
Yeah.
And so, I literally with Dee Snider and I Twisted Sister. We would watch the music videos on YouTube because YouTube had just come out and started, and so you could look up. I don't even know if it might have been something before YouTube that we were watching Twisted Sister videos on, but Guns N' Roses, anything 80s or before, me and my
Snider
friends.
is iconic and a little cheesy. He was always over the top.
Very cheesy. He also at the time was on all of the VH1 I Love the Blanks.
Yes, sure.
60s, 70s, 80s. He was on all of those. Because he's such a kooky dude and he gives a good interview. From everything I can tell and discern, he's a really sweet guy. He's done a lot of charity stuff. One of their most popular songs on, if you just Google Twisted Sister, is a Christmas song. I think it's "Oh Come All Ye Faithful," and it's pretty good. It's a solid listen. So yeah, I just when I saw Bluegrass, Aliens, and then they showed Dee Snider in the trailer, I just was like, who, and this is before the AI is what it is now, right? And I'm just like, who made this movie for me?
Yes. We're going to dive into the movie right after this. So we meet Bill. Is that his name? General Trius. We don't know that yet.
General
he gets
Trius.
up on stage in a red bucket, which I think is a Devo, an homage to Devo. A red bucket with a hole cut out in the face and a banjo. And he starts to play a song. And it's a funny song, but I was immediately entranced with the music. What's that first song called that he plays so we can drink?
That first song is called. I had the whole thing up on my phone. Lo siento. "Impossible Dream"
There
is
it
the
is.
first song,
Great.
and it's kind of introducing us to General Trias a little bit, and it's very. The version in the movie is so, because it's just him,
Mm,
so like sad and sweet.
yes. And
Whereas if you
his
listen to
banjo
the
is
album version, it's him
unbelievable.
and Kevin, and
Okay.
it's a little bit more like playful and a
Oh,
little bit
okay.
more raucous on the album. But in the movie, I love how kind of like heartbreaking it is almost.
Yes.
Uh,
So that's how we meet Bill, who we
yes,
don't know is anything but Bill at this point. We know he's a struggling musician at a local bar. And then
correct.
he goes home and tells his daughter a bedtime story uh, about a planet called
Hondo.
Hondo. His daughter, her character name is Ren. She is one of the cutest kid actors I've ever seen. Very
A thousand
realistic.
percent. I'm not a big kid actor person.
Mm,
I think she nails being a kid in this movie and is so
yes.
good. And they use her the perfect amount. I think she's
Yeah.
sprinkled in at the perfect times. She's really emotive.
Agreed.
Wren, a good Arizona-based name. Cactus wren is our state bird. So
Oh.
always looking for those Arizona connections. Uh,
Wait, is this an Arizona movie or something? Or just
it's
that's
not, but I do have one more Arizona factoid coming up a little
okay.
later on in the movie.
I want to give her credit because she's so sweet. Onada April is Ren, and she is to die for. So he's telling her the story of an alien from the planet Hondo. Drink.
Hondo.
And it's clear he tells her these stories every night. She knows the planet. And the story he's telling is about an alien coming to Earth and discovering music in a Costco where they're playing music. And it is the most charming thing. He's in the red bucket that Bill wore on stage. All we know is he makes up these stories at night. We don't know anything yet. Am I wrong? We don't know anything yet.
No, we do not.
And watching a man hear music for the first time, not seeing his face, but his physicality, and discovering Costco with its,
Enormity.
just and variety of products
Yes.
and their bulk. And it is so charming. And then quickly we cut to a chase through the city. And this is where I noticed how low budget this movie is.
I
How
knew this was going to be the spot. I knew this was
delightfully
going to be the spot for you.
drink, my new friend.
It's the people. It's running across the bridge and the people getting out of the way. Right, like those were
Yes, but
not
there are
extras. They were not. They were just
and
people
there
on
are
the street.
barely any people. And
Right.
they set this in Brooklyn, which I question if you're trying to save money.
S-
And it's
So I actually want to bring that up
yeah.
because the band Future Folk, which is General Trias and the Mighty Kevin, as played by Niles Delaire and Jay Clates, they started as a folk comedy music duo in the East Village, which is way more what this all feels like
Mhm.
than Brooklyn. Am I wrong? Like it feels way more East Village than it
It
does
feels
Brooklyn.
Brooklyn-y to me. It does.
Like more, well, like yeah,
Like
I
the
guess
way the buildings look, they look
yeah.
like with the stoops and it
But
does
the
look
bar to
Brooklyn-y,
me
but
feels East Village. That's, I guess, like it.
the empty bar with no extras because they couldn't afford extras, or I mean, what like that? I guess that's later in the movie, but it's just unbelievable how unpopulated these streets
Yes,
are at all times.
yes.
So he, Bill sees a guy in the red Hondo suit,
Hondo,
and he's chasing the Hondo guy is going pew pew with a laser gun that looks
very cheap graphics.
very cheap. And then he conks the guy and drags it. He basically attacks him and kidnaps him and throws him in a cab and brings him home, which was so shocking.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, what is this mild-mannered dad musician doing chasing down a guy in a red bucket? And it immediately gave me the idea that this movie is very hard to predict, which I love. Right? When you
I
don't see it coming a mile away, when you're not waiting because you know the big twist. This movie doesn't follow rules. It just does
mm,
whatever the hell it wants.
every time you and everyone thinks it's gonna go right, I don't want to say it goes left. It just like goes straight.
Yeah, it goes center. Yeah,
It just
yeah.
like it doesn't go like completely away from what you think it's gonna do, but it kind of like accomplishes what you think it's gonna do in a different way than you thought it was gonna accomplish it. I think at almost every turn. Um, I think that later on, like when Kevin gets distracted and goes on the salsa dance, like that to
Mm-hmm.
me is like a moment where it's like, oh, and now this, like I thought we were getting close to wrapping this thing up, and now we're just going on this little, but then it pairs well. We'll get to it, but like
We'll get to it.
I I I agree with you that it's like it seems like it'd be very simple, and on its face it is, but they go about it in a little zigzaggy way.
Yes. And you mentioned the lead actor, Niles Dallaire.
Mhm.
So I, of course, curious me, went on IMDb to find this is his only credit. Not an actor,
Mm-mm.
Niles
He's
Dallaire.
a
He's a
musician. They
musician
were, yeah.
and a damn good one. Jay Clates, however, a prolific actor.
Yes.
So, I expected they both look, I wear 1,000 hats. I produce a cabaret, I teach musical theater to kids, I podcast, I'm a voiceover artist, I'm a writer. I expected Niles Dallaire to have other credits as an
Something.
actor. Nothing.
I
I
mean,
mean, maybe he knits. I don't know.
it's like a Simon and Garfunkel thing, right? You got maybe one that just is got a little bit more flair and out there, and one that just wants to be about the art and does the art, and not
Well,
literally Art Garfunkel, but uh,
right.
yeah.
So, what do you know about future folk? Because a lot of my questions in the beginning were who the hell is writing this amazing music? Where do these guys come from? And why do they sound so beautiful? They are almost like a male indigo girls in their harmonies and their lyrics and their it's just fantastic music.
I honestly, I this is all I really know about Future Folk. I didn't know about them till the movie. The
Okay.
movie comes out, and you're like, here's this quirky movie that this folk bluegrassy duo out of New York made about themselves, and they presented the whole time they were presented as they didn't really much like in the movie they didn't come up with the name Future Folk till after they had done some shows.
Mm.
And so they, like I said, they were playing shows in the East Village. They eventually, because they met just doing like off Broadway stuff. I think
Oh.
Niles was on in, it was something Wilford Brimley was the title of the show. And so anyway, they meet in New York, and they meet at a time, this weird, like, in music and roots music and folk, it's post Oh Brother Where Art Thou, which is very
Uh-huh.
transformative for the genre.
Mm-hmm.
You've had your new grass, you've had your like your Nickel Creeks things through like the late 90s, early
I
2000s.
love Nickel Creek. Yeah.
Oh gosh, yes. So do I. It's very much. I love Chris Thiele a lot. And so you have Oh Brother, which really popularizes the genre. And then from that, you have so many bands that are born in that couple of years
Mm.
after, and then some of them get bigger than others. That kind of leads to the like 2010, 11, 12 era, which I call the stomp and clap era of folk music. Your Lumineers, your Mumford and
Oh,
Sonses,
sure. Yeah. Hey ho.
those kind of bands.
Yeah.
So this is like, this to me, this movie could only really been made like literally in this stretch of time where you have these bands that are like have become like really popular, especially in North America, and they're just kind of like riding off that like success of in the
Sure.
mainstream that these
Yeah.
bands are having. And I think this is one of the more just like pure and beautiful things to come out of it. And I think what makes it kind of great, Future Folk in this movie in general, is that this is kind of it. Like
Yes.
they aren't doing anything right now. They've teased maybe like I read 2021, they were teasing maybe something was in the works. But like I'm fine with this being
Their legacy.
not Serenity. What's the show that Serenity is about? Firefly, right? Like one of the things that makes Firefly so beautiful is it only had one season
Right.
and then a
2
movie.
shows I have to do on this podcast because I hear.
I can't. Yes, I would highly recommend. Chrissy would be a great person to do Firefly with.
Okay. I just make up shit just to have Chrissy on my podcast.
I would too.
It's pretty obvious. She's wonderful.
She's incredible. Yes. She is my best friend. Humble brag.
How do I get in there and break that up?
I'll figure it out. I don't know if I'm her best friend, to be clear.
Did you hear what she said about you the other day?
No, I did not.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Well, I'm not going to say it
okay
on the air, but it's really
that's fine. That's fine.
shocking.
It's all good.
One thought I had, and it's just a random thought, but I wonder if Steve Martin has seen this movie and what he thinks, being the banjo aficionado he is. Which came up on the Bo Burnham podcast. It came up also like I thought Steve Martin must have been an influence for Bo Burnham.
Yeah,
so
I definitely, that was something I wanted to bring up. Not only did I miss out on seeing Bo Burnham, but I actually did get to see Steve Martin.
Ooh.
But I got to see him play bluegrass with his bluegrass band, the Steep Canyon Rangers.
Yes,
in Telluride one year. Yes, I would imagine Steve Martin has seen this movie. It won Fantastic Fest in Austin.
Oh.
And it also won, I think, Philly Film Festival. So it won a couple of like small, I don't think Fantastic Fest was at the time what it is now.
Okay.
I think it was kind of starting out, but like.
And it made it to Netflix, which is a feat. Being a person who made a film that didn't make it to Netflix. It's hard to do.
Right.
And then it got booted off of Netflix, but I read it's back on. So I don't know.
I watched mine on YouTube, so I hope it's back on. So you don't have to go through commercials.
Right. I watched it on YouTube as well. So
nice.
If Steve Martin, if you're listening and you haven't enjoyed this movie, please.
It's up your alley.
Yeah. The level of violence in this movie, Nate, you don't know me, is my exact level that I can handle and I adore. It is, let me list, face punch, karate chop, and headbutt. And every time the person just crumples to the ground with no blood, no gore. It's all such sweet, innocent violence. And I love it so much.
Every bit of violence feels like it should have like Adam West Batman.
Yes.
Pow! Ka-chow!
Blam.
After it.
Yes.
I think obviously for budgetary reasons, you can't have too much.
Oh, I'm sorry,
extra...
for what?
Oh, budgetary reasons. Boop, boop.
They could not have afforded continuity with blood and all of that.
No. So, but the beautiful part about them being aliens is that you can justify these actions by being like, oh yeah, they know secret chops that just put people to sleep for like 5 minutes. Old ladies like registering people for salsa dances.
Well,
for 2 minutes and then we're done.
And at this point, we come to learn that Bill is General Treyas, and he was sent from Hondo to Earth to destroy the planet. And he has abandoned his mission and fallen in love with his lovely wife and had a daughter, and he's trying to make it as a bluegrass singer, and that's what he's chosen. So the planet sends Kevin to spur him on or get him back or make him finish the mission, right?
The other thing we learn about Bill, though, is that he is posing at his job. So his job at an aerospace
museum,
sort of like museum, is where he works. So we see him go through like security, and the security guy like gives him a hard time. He's like, if this guy's wife calls, you give him a call on the radio, send her up to floor 3. Ain't that right, Doc? And like gives him like a I know what you really are kind of deal. We find out he's like a groundskeeper, a janitor.
He's a janitor. But he wears a shirt and tie to work.
Yep.
So his wife thinks he's
he fakes it all the way from home.
Yeah.
We see, as in this first introduction to his job, they pass by a tour that's going on, and the tour is talking about the Titan missile that is supposedly housed in this, that is housed, I should say, in this museum. The museum, by the way, is actually very close to. It's not 140 miles from Brooklyn. It's only about like 30 minutes from Brooklyn,
Okay.
where they filmed this. I have the name of it written down here. It is the Cradle of Aviation Museum
Okay.
is what it's called. In
Well,
something
they're not
Gardens, New York.
sponsors of the show, so I don't want to give them too much love.
No, and here's where I'm going to say it's stolen valor. We later on see the giant Titan missile. Of course, the Titan missiles were used during the Cold War era, and she explains this to in case the Russians attacked, we would send our big missiles at Russia. The Titan Missile Museum, which is where the only remaining silo with a missile in it remains in the whole country, is in Green Valley, Arizona, just south of Tucson. And I've driven by it, but I've never been. But you can do tours and stuff.
Okay.
And so there's your last Arizona connection to this movie. I here for the tourism board.
Well played, Nate.
But I found it funny because, it very clearly is like Titan missiles, the whole exhibit. And then, these missiles are like 3 stories tall. They're huge.
Very cool.
So,
and they do it like Chekhov's gun. That she's like, this
of
missile,
course.
or and then we don't think about it for an hour, and
but you're definitely like,
come back.
It's gonna come back.
Yeah. Pete, play some ads. So at this point, I was completely 100% beaming from ear to ear and charmed by this movie. And I have to tell you that I went in thinking, I was dubious because it seemed like maybe it was going to be weird for weird's sake, which is something I bristle against. And it is weird with complete heart and complete motivation and charm and humor at every turn. And that is this is still 20-25 minutes in when I was just like, I can't stop smiling. I can't wait to see what's coming next. This movie hooked me in such a meaningful way. A lot of my favorite movies have to do with just a few people who are trying to do right by each other but keep messing up. Like What's Eating Gilbert Grape and Spitfire Grill. I like those small movies about well-intentioned people. Flawed.
Raising Arizona.
That's not one of my favorite. I'm not a Coen Brothers person. Check out my episode of The Big Lebowski if you want to hear my thoughts.
It's on my list to listen to. I've not gotten to it yet, but it is on the list for sure.
But I was so grateful to you for bringing this movie to my attention. And then we get to Bill on stage in his red bucket, because that's his, quote, character for his banjo act. But now we know it's his alien suit.
It's a Superman deal, right?
From
Superman's alter ego isn't Superman, it's Clark Kent.
Hondo.
But
he does a monologue on stage that is so meta and smart and funny. And he says to the audience, who is now starting to dress like him, I think at this point, they are all, it's a smattering of people. It's not a massive crowd. He says, well, you guys must like flesh-eating viruses more than most life forms I've encountered. And they're all like, yeah, life-eating flesh form. Like, it's so meta, and they don't get it. And I couldn't tell if Bill was trying to confess or if he knew it would be funny to call it out. What are your thoughts on that?
I think he's definitely trying to confess. And I think we see Bill as this movie goes on. He starts out with honestly like a lot of pep in his step and a lot of verve and a lot of like life. And as the movie goes on, he gets very worn and tired and exhausted. And I think we see less of Bill and more of General Trius.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's funny because Abby, when we watched it last night, because she had already watched it with me, but we were watching it again last night, and she goes, why is he not the best actor at like the second half of the movie? And I was like, I don't think it's that. I think he's making a choice as an actor to like play just more exhausted, tired, kind of like,
I would say
I just want to
wooden.
live my Earth life and be Bill, and I don't want to think about the people I've abandoned and the general curious part of all of it.
Yeah.
Because he does seem like a stone cold killer, right? Like he's a soldier. They're like, Kevin says it where he goes, General Trias, you're the most badass general, soldier there ever was. Everyone loved you. Da 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 da. And he's probably like, I don't know. I came to this tiny little rock. I found this music that I love. I have a life I love. I just want it to be that, but now I have to deal with this bullshit. And I think
I do wonder if it's chicken or the egg. If Niles Dolaire is not a great actor, and so they just said, let's just justify it and say, well, he's an alien and he doesn't process human emotion very well.
Right. I think it's
Or if
column A,
he
column
made
B.
that choice. But
Right.
either way, it works. And
Yes,
that's what I
it
love.
does.
It totally works in the film, but not the best actor, but I don't hold it against him for 1 minute.
Not at all.
He has very weird hair. That's neither here nor there. And then Kevin meets Carmen the cop. And that's her name, right?
Yes.
When
Yeah,
Kevin
Carmen.
meets her, he gets this look. They might as well have played a sound effect of like zoing, oing, 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 oing. It is the dopiest, cartooniest look of adoration. And it made me fall in love with the actor, Jay Cates. It was so adorable. And I just think in most movies, you can't get away with something so over the top and pure. And it was precious. And kidnaps her and holds her hostage.
That
Adorable.
I would say if any part of this movie doesn't hold up, it's that scene. That's the one scene of the movie that I kind of just like, well, we could have done this a different way. I think you could have got this very silly song in the foreign moon, La Luna Extranjera.
I'm sorry. Did you just bring up a new song?
Oh, we did. And I believe, doesn't Kevin first meet, or when he kisses her is after they play, I don't remember when he kisses her. Is it after the show? Did we already go over the first show that they play together when he comes through the audience with the guitar?
I skipped right after it right over it. But
just because I want to bring up the song Space Worms.
Oh, yeah. Did you just bring up another song?
We got to bring Space Worms up.
Pete, if you could play a little of Space Worms, I'd be grateful because it's fantastic.
Well, I grew up on my planet farming space worms, where space worms can always be found. But here on Earth, as far as I can discern, there just ain't no space worms around. There just ain't no space worms around. Hondo.
There it is. You're welcome, everybody. So good.
If that doesn't get you hooked on the movie, which is in the trailer, if you watch the trailer for this movie, you're going to hear Space Worms. And it's such a good hook. It's such a good bluegrass song. It sounds so good. And Jay sings it so well. His voice is so good. And so he's so talented. So I didn't want to let us skip past Space Worms because.
No, it's a great song. Thank you. I did go out of order. Because yes, so they realize they're magical together on stage.
Oh, that Hondonian connection, that Hondonian connection.
And Jay plays guitar to Bill's banjo, and it's phenomenal.
And they harmonize instantly. They know all the same words. They clearly have like a telepathic thing. I like, again, everything in this movie. If you start to question the logic, you just go, they're aliens. Mm-hmm. We don't know how they work. They're aliens. They may look like people. There's a brilliant line that they would do at the beginning of the show where he says, I was so glad that Hondonian is the language on Hondonian is the same as English.
Right.
He says that at the top of all the show.
Yeah.
Right. It's of course like, heck yeah, we're on board. If you were watching this show, his show live or a Future Folk show live, you'd be like, That's great. I got my bucket on. I'm ready to go.
Yep. Not only is it a Devo homage, but their outfits are quite Michael Jackson beat it.
Mm-hmm.
But they really look like they're wearing Halloween costumes from a Halloween superstore with the buckets, which I think is a budget choice.
It definitely is.
It's so low budget.
I love the variation of interpretations so they did not spare, especially when we get later on, in all these extras having kind of their own unique bucket, which honestly may have just been people from their actual shows. Because people will dress up. If you look up clip of Future Folk shows, there are people that wear the bucket in the audience. And if you go on their website, you can buy a bucket, not one that's made. You have to still make it yourself, but you can buy the actual bucket, and then you still got to do the making of it and everything and the accessorizing. So I do love the weird little like movement, it's such a little cult. It's not even really a cult classic. I don't think it even got to that status of cult.
But it made me so happy for these characters that people loved them and came to their shows and wanted to emulate them and wear the buckets.
And that's the ethos of everything with Future Folk in general. Yes. And that's completely the following and everything is just this joy and this love. And this movie brings it out perfectly.
Yes. How did they get Dee Snider? You're welcome. Drink.
That has to be a good chunk of the budget. Or he donated his time. I don't know.
I didn't know if you had inside knowledge that he was a fan of the group or friends with Niles, or we just don't know.
I have no idea how they got Dee Snider or what even the thought process would have been behind getting Dee Snider into this, other than just like, he's a fun guy. Like, it has to be somebody knew somebody. Like, either the director knew him, someone knew him somehow through someone, and just asked, would you be willing to shoot? It's probably, how long do you think he was on like set or shooting for? Maybe 2 days?
2 full days, yes.
2 full days, I would say, with all the scenes he in, all the bar scenes, and then the car scenes, right?
Yeah.
Like, that would be it. So, yeah, I think it was maybe a small ask, but he rocks it. He kills it.
He's fun, but it was so random. And when he came back, I was like, why is he there? But it's fun. It works. But I was wondering if you knew how it happened.
No, I wish I did.
Well, you mentioned the bar, which was empty because they couldn't afford extras drink.
It is called the trash bar. I'm out of drink.
Nate.
How dare I?
How dare you? And then their high-tech alien equipment and gadgets look so adorably silly 80s. They might as well be using a Teddy Ruxpin. It's consistent with the tone of the movie, but it's also budgetary. That they couldn't afford things that looked cooler or actually seemed high-tech. So,
and all you had to do was rent out a storage unit for a couple of days to keep it in too. Like, you didn't have to build a set. You just needed a storage unit and shoot inside there.
Yeah. It was inventive the way they used their time and space. I keep questioning Brooklyn. It's got to be so expensive to film in Brooklyn. And they were on the streets and they had cars and they had public shots, not just, in homes where you can get away with whatever.
I think a lot of it so I guess this is, yes, the budget constraints, and it's very evident I still think it's a very beautiful movie. And I think it's very well shot.
Yeah.
And I that's the thing that it kind of want to, because I hadn't watched this until a couple weeks ago. I hadn't watched this in probably 10 or so years, at least. And I was like, I was kind of unsure even. I was like, I know, like, I really like this movie, but I was like, I'm not sure how you're going to feel or everyone else is going to feel about it. And then as I'm watching it and I'm just seeing how gorgeous some of these shots are, I'm like, no, this is really good. I really like this. And yes, there's obviously some obvious budget things, but like for what they had to work with, it's very SNL digital short in the early days with filming the island.
Good call.
Right? Like,
good call. Yeah.
And I think it is a love letter to New York at the same time. I think in a lot of ways, like there's these great shots of the skyline and the city, and when they go to sleep on the other side of the river, and so I think there's this. New York is a character in this movie, as a lot of people like to
Yeah,
say, right?
they do like to say that. So it was directed by John Mitchell, who has no other directing credits, or two others, I shouldn't say, and a guy named Jeremy Kip Walker, who has 78 producing credits, major productions, it looks like. So perhaps he was behind getting this
Dee
made,
Snider.
and getting Dee Snider, and he seems to have the credentials and the high. He's the high powered one in the relationship. So
Yeah.
maybe that answers how they got this accomplished, and maybe he called in a ton of favors. But you're right, it does look good, and mission accomplished on every level. So I'm not complaining when I say, "Oh, I could tell how low budget it was." There's some bad guy that comes down from Hondo, or is it Hondo or a different planet?
He's not from Hondo. He's from somewhere else.
Put it down.
But Hondo sent him.
Oh, Hondo. So,
which his line is great, where he says, where Tria says, "Just go ahead and kill me," and he says, your poor ass friends on Hondo couldn't afford for me to kill you."
Yes. And he is dressed like Ross Geller as the Hanukkah armadillo.
Oh, the Hanukkah. That's great.
That's what it looks like.
I am so glad you put a name to it, because I was going to say something that I think was going to be too harsh of a criticism. I was going to say it's like subdued Power Rangers.
Okay.
Because the Power Ranger villains outfits were always so outlandish and cartoonish.
Yes.
This was not as cartoonish. It felt a little bit more adult, but at the same time, it kind of seemed a little bit like a Power Rangers background bad guy.
Ridiculously not scary, not real, nothing. No. It was just a dude in a suit, probably on the crew, chasing him around. Yeah. But he looked like the holiday armadillo. When Kevin finally claims his love, Carmen the cop, after he seduces her in a tango that's adorable, and then she sees him play, and hubba hubba, he's great. And then they're getting together, and she says, "You're really from outer space?" And he says, "I hope that's not a problem." It's so sweet. That bad guy I just mentioned disappears. I did not see him go anywhere, but he claims he was only paid enough to rough up General Treyas, right?
To start to enact the virus. That's the only reason. The only thing he got paid for was because they knew Kevin didn't get it done, and so Hondo sent him to start the virus to kill everyone on Earth, so that the people from Hondo could move there. And that guy was just a mercenary hired gun, and that's why his line is so funny, where he's like, "Your poor ass friends couldn't afford for me to kill you."
Right.
So I'm just going to leave you here.
This is what you get.
And I was only paid to do this bit.
So I only have one complaint, and it's not really a complaint. They are playing on stage the song "I See Stars."
Over the Moon is
Over the Moon. That's what I said. Don't correct me. And then, that's a different song. That's a new song, and you're out of drink.
Oh, yep. I'm out of drink. So, I think we missed Universe Within was the other song that we kind of see during the training montage for Kevin.
Sure.
Because they have like 3 weeks till they can fire the rocket to save Hondo.
Yep. Hondo. Oh my goodness. And, Nate, what are you doing to me?
So the Universe Within, which is a great little motivational song. I was listening to it earlier today, and I was like, this is such a great pick-me-up.
I want everybody to go listen to the soundtrack. Please, please. It is available on Spotify and YouTube, I think.
And supplemental listening, listen to the live album, because the live album really gives you a taste of like what their shows are like and everything. And that was recorded in 2014, so a couple years after the movie was out. But it's delightful. Absolutely delightful.
Well, as I said, I do have one complaint, but before I voice that, I need to tell everybody that Make Me a Nerd is a production of True Story FM, engineering by the peerless Pete Wright. My song is Wonderstruck by Jane and the Boy. I'm tipsy. I don't remember. And if you want to reach me on socials, it's on Instagram at Mandy_Kaplan_Clavens, both with Ks. Please, please leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts. That helps more people find the podcast and helps me keep doing this. And if you're feeling extra supportive, please, please go on makemeanerd.com/join, and hitting that button will get you your episodes ad-free and early, and my eternal gratitude. Okay, so they are on stage singing something about the moon.
Over the Moon. Yes.
Over the Moon. Beautiful song. Everything's great. Bill sees his wife. His wife takes off and he goes to follow her. So he takes off his banjo and he leaves it. He goes up to the roof to chase her down. Yet the banjo is still heard completely through the song. And Kevin's alone on stage with his guitar. And yet you hear the banjo. And I was like, wait, but he just dropped the banjo and he's no longer part of the song.
That's what makes this a musical. It's that scene right there.
Well, I disagree, but
that's what makes it
I
a
did
musical.
think that was pretty funny.
Budget cuts, and I like that it plays underneath, and budget cuts. It plays underneath the whole scene. I think underscores their conversation so nicely.
It
just
does.
I love the fight in Tango scene with the bad guy trying to get Trius and Kevin dancing with Carmen, like the back and forth, like that. Again, that's a way of, we know where this story is going at this point, that the love story is going to happen, that where everyone's going to, hopefully it's going to be, that we know that this movie has such a heart. There's not going to be a sad, somber ending to this. It's going to be a happy ending. But the way they go about telling this story, again, with like, okay, let's have this back and forth, this dual action montage where fighting is like a tango, and these two were combative at first, and now they're falling in love. And then to get then this with, which by the way, Dee Snider locks the door to the bar so that no one can get in or out. And that's what drives Bill's wife up to the roof.
Yeah.
Weird. We see that specific shot and I'm always like, why is he doing that again? And then when she goes, I'm like, oh, that's right. So she has to go up to the roof.
Right.
Like,
justify.
Very strange.
Yeah. There's a lot of reverse engineering with the plot where they're like, well, we can justify it if we add a shot before. It's fine.
I
works.
I love all the conveniences that happen with the destruction of the asteroid that's going to hit Hondo, right? That they're too early and it's going to be a miss. But wait, Kevin's got to play it. Oh, yeah, take all the drinks. When they fire off the Titan missile, then they fire off the rocket-propelled missile, and all the cops are chasing them away from the museum, right? Because Kevin stun guns all those guys. Yep. That whole scene, the whole chase scene with Dee Snider and all that, and we see all the cop cars chasing them, and then the Titan missile just going up. I don't think they would get to just keep living happily in Brooklyn after this ordeal.
True.
I think someone would want to know why the missile was missing.
But they saved the planet.
But I love the convenience.
This is the world in which everybody just accepts they're from another planet, and they saved our planet, and good on them.
How convenient for Bill in his romantic gesture moment to look at his wife and say, if my calculations are correct.
Yes.
You're that star right, that dot right there is going to go kaboom in 3, 2, 1. Thank goodness Dee Snider locked the door.
Is that not how you seduced your wife?
No,
That's how it went down for Jeremy and me.
It's blowing up a comment. You want a comment? I'll give you a comment.
This movie is utterly delightful. I cannot thank you enough for bringing it to my attention. I recommended it to my sister. She already watched it and liked it. It's just, if you're out there and you're thinking, well, you just told us everything about it, we're not capturing the warmth, the humor, it's so freaking charming. And
Yes.
please get a glass of wine and play the Hondo drinking game because I'm wasted. And you are delightful. And tell everybody where they can find your podcast and follow you.
You can find our podcast. Well, please go to Apple Podcasts. Let's do it. It's called Gank That Drink. It's a supernatural drinking game. We watched the beloved show Supernatural, and we play drinking games with all the episodes that we watch. And we are about to embark on our final season of the show. So get it in while you can. Go listen to old episodes. It's very fun. I host it with Chrissy Lenz, who's my best friend, and I don't know if I'm hers, but
Guest?
we did have a guest. Mandy was a guest on it. We talked about an episode from Twihard. That's right. Live for your Twihard.
Yes.
Have you watched any more since?
No. Not because I don't like it, but I just haven't.
That's fine. That's fine.
It's a fun show.
I love Supernatural. So I'm literally we're just watching through it right now. It's so good. But I also do want to plug, if you are in the Phoenix area, come to the Neighborhood Comedy Theater in downtown Mesa, Arizona. We do improv shows on Fridays and Saturday nights, sometimes other times. We got sketch. Different shows are different things. So nctphoenix.com is that.
Oh, the links will be in the show notes.
They'll be in the show notes. Sorry, I'm so unprofessional. I'm so unprofessional.
The best. I love you, Pete. Oh, boy. Okay, well, thank you for coming on, and thank you all for listening. And Hondo.
Got me.